What's good, Panther Nation? Welcome back to Two Fans in the Stands. I'm CJ,
And I'm your boy Tony.
and today we're going to take another look at the defense. In our last episode on the defense, we looked at how our current roster holds up with the new 3-4 scheme that Evero was bringing in. And today we're going to take a look at the roster plus a few free agents that we would like to see brought into Carolina. So, Tony, how you
Okay.
doing today?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I've been thinking about how this switch to the 3-4 defense is going to benefit us, and mainly, do we have enough players currently on the team to fit that scheme?
Mm-hmm.
What about you? How you been today?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm just I'm ready for some stuff to go down, you know.
Hey, me and you both, man. Me and you both. It's like I know we could sit here and we could talk ball all day, but it's almost like how the players feel when they practicing against each other all throughout
Hmm.
training camp. They ready to start hitting somebody else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm ready for something to pop off. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm hoping for I'm really hoping the Panthers make some kind of big move in free agency. Um, but there's limits to that, um, especially a lot to do with our salary cap. So how big of a free agency splash they can make, we
Right.
we, we
Right.
don't know. They gotta work to free up some money, and we don't know how much that'll be yet, how much they can spend. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
that's true. That is true. But I think we got a pretty good list of potential free agent targets that
Hmm.
I think that won't break the bank, and
Yeah.
that can definitely be serviceable, and
Hmm.
there's really no telling what we can get out of them going forward. But I think there will be good building blocks to start off with.
Hmm. Agree. Let me bring up the slide here. And this is what we talked about last week. The players that are currently on our roster that we'll know will be here this next season. And I have Gross Mato circle, Brandon Smith circle, and let me see, Gross Matos, Brandon Smith, and Dante Jackson. Okay, and we talked about Gross Matos, how we feel like he may be a little undersized to play that 3-4 defensive end position. Um, Brandon Smith, now, if he can get healthy and stay healthy, he may be a candidate for that middle linebacker spot. Shaq Thompson, his status with the team is still in question because he has a big salary cap number coming up for this season.
Right.
Um, but for the most part, we're going to assume that he's still going to be here. And also got Dante Jackson's circle too because he is injury prone. I think we can officially label him that now. So we see cornerback as a position, that we need to address in the offseason, whether it be free agents like we're talking about now or the draft, because behind Dante Jackson, the depth is not that great. So,
No,
but yeah, we'll
not
see.
anymore. Not anymore. Definitely.
Yeah, not anymore. All right, but let's go ahead and look at our free agents here that we want the Panthers to look at, and I hand it over to you, Tony.
Okay, so my first free agent choice, I think that Carolina would be smart to pick up or to really to take a look at would be Alex Singleton, linebacker out of Montana State, 6'2", 240 pounds. Currently with the Broncos. I believe he's an unrestricted free agent. Last year he played in Coach Evero's system, that 3-4
Mm-hmm.
system in Denver. So he's definitely familiar with it. So that could bring, he would bring someone over that's knowledge of the defense, and he had a very productive year last year in that system. I think,
100
if I'm not
tackles.
mistaken, he had over 170 tackles last year for Denver. So he had a very productive season playing the middle linebacker position in the 3-4 defense last year in Denver. Um, my second choice is Charles Omenihu, who is a edge rusher right now for the 49ers. Currently, I'm sorry, not currently. Currently with the 49ers,
Mm-hmm.
6'5", 280 pounds out of Texas. I I picked Charles Omenihu because, like we was discussing before, we don't know if Yitor Gross Matos is big enough to play the
Mm-hmm.
defensive end position in that 3-4 scheme. So Charles Omenihu offers you someone that's a little bit bigger,
Yeah.
and you could see that even though he played in a limited role, he didn't start for San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
You see the kind of production that he could bring to a team if he is the starter. And
Yeah.
San Francisco kind of runs that hybrid hybrid 3-4-3-3 type
Mm.
of defense. That I think it wouldn't be hard for him to transition into a 3-4 defensive end, because he definitely has the size and the height, and he can get after the pass rusher.
And I was gonna say he
Um,
got about 25 pounds on Gross Matos, don't he?
Yeah, about 15, about 15, 20. He
Okay.
about 280, 285. So,
Okay.
we talked about how that in that 3-4 scheme, that defensive end typically, well, we say defensive end, but really it'd be defensive tackle. So
Mm-hmm.
he has to be typically, I think, between about 280, 300. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Uh Third, I have Bobby Okereke, linebacker from the Indianapolis Colts. Graduated from Stanford, or came from
Mm-hmm.
Stanford. 6'1", 235. One thing I like about Bobby Okereke is he is a sure tackler. He's instinctive,
We need that.
and he's someone that played under Frank Wright. So
Mm-hmm.
he knows Frank Wright. He knows what to expect from him as a head coach. He could bring that type of, the mentality, the culture that Frank Wright is trying to install with Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Okereke can bring that from a defensive perspective, and also gives you another middle linebacker, because we know right
Yeah.
now, free agency is not looking too good for us as far as the
Yeah.
linebacker position. So that's definitely going to have, if it's not addressed in the draft, it's definitely going to need to be addressed in free agency. And both of these linebackers, in my opinion, Bobby Okereke and Alex Singleton, I don't think they're going to break the bank. It's
Yeah.
not like there's some high price free agents that you have to go out and give 15-20 million dollars a year, or trade 2-3 picks to try to get. I think these both of these guys will be serviceable
Mm-hmm.
linebackers, and I don't know if they would be, how much of upgrade it would be over what we currently have, but I'm willing to go out on a limb and say it could be a little slightly better, because as we talked throughout the season, the
Mm-hmm.
linebacker position was a position that we felt like was going to that we felt like that we felt like was going to need a little upgrade in the off season.
Well, you
Okay.
got to remember too, if Shaq is gone, you got to think either one of these guys, and I would love to have either one of them, and I think
Hmm.
that would be a good pairing because it'll probably be between Brandon Smith and Frankie Louvu.
Yeah.
Now Louvu will probably pair up with him nice. Um, Smith probably be, come in second string, but we would
Right.
have to get another player to take that other linebacker spot to come off the edge. Um, but I think both of these are great candidates. They have great numbers, and like you said, and they're especially Okereke, they're sure tacklers, and that's
Right.
really what we need, because as much as I like Shaq Thompson, he does have a habit of trying to fly into somebody's shoulder first.
Yes, he
Yeah,
does.
and he sometimes he's very successful and sometimes he's not successful at all. So,
Right. And
we'll
and
see.
and he did have a productive year last year. It's just
Mhm.
like you said, like you just mentioned, it's the consistency that you're looking for. And
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with the defense getting a get. There's nothing wrong with the defense getting a little younger at the position as well. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to correct something that I said last week when we talked about the 3-4 defense, because after I once I thought about it, I was like, you know what? So the thing was we have Frankie Louvu as an outside rush linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't think Frankie Louvu in the 3-4 scheme is big enough to play that jack, what they call the jack linebacker position, the outside rush linebacker position. I
Mm-hmm.
think he would be more serviceable in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about it, I'm thinking like Marquise Haynes, someone that we didn't mention when we
Yeah.
talked about the 3-4 defense. You know, you got Marquise Haynes and you still got Amari Barno. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that other uh outside linebacker position opposite of Brian Burns can be manned by one of those two, and that
Mm-hmm.
frees up and leaves Frankie Louvu the opportunity to play the middle linebacker position. So
Yeah.
I just want to point that out, because I thought about it and I was like, well, one, we didn't mention Marquise Haynes last week, and when you think about it, Louvu ain't really big enough to play the outside rush linebacker position, you know. So I think you kind of want somebody with some size to play that position, you know.
Yeah. No, I got
Uh
you, and I think we I think we did say that about Luvu. We just well, I kind of stuck him there because
uh-huh.
in like I said, with our current roster, we were kind of short on linebackers, so I kind of
Right,
put him over there, and I didn't see Brandon Smith coming off the edge, so that's why I put him at middle linebacker with Shaq Thompson. But yeah, I
right,
agree. Now, mind you, I think Frankie Luvu could do that on a scenario based type of deal. Like if he's coming
right,
off a blitz or something, but not as an every down linebacker in that position. I agree with you.
right. And number 4, I got Larry Ogunjobi. Now, Larry Ogunjobi, if a lot of Panther fans remember, went to Charlotte. Larry Ogunjobi
49er.
was, yeah, he was on the first team, if I'm not mistaken, that Charlotte had. I think he was with that first graduating class. Let me say that. And
Mm-hmm.
I think before Alex Highsmith, Larry Ogunjobi was the first Charlotte 49er to be drafted in the NFL draft. So, you know, we could bring Larry home. He's
Mm-hmm.
familiar with a 3-4 scheme, you know, by playing in Pittsburgh the past couple years. And before
Yeah.
that, I think he was with Cleveland. But he has some familiarity with the 3-4 defense. He's a free agent this year. Again, he's someone that wouldn't break the bank. And you could bring him back home and you know, let him do his thing. I think he's still serviceable. He's still, I wouldn't say relatively young, but I believe
Yeah.
he's under 30 years old. But
Mm-hmm.
he's definitely a free agent, someone I could see um playing opposite of Derek Brown in that 3-4 front. Okay.
Agreed.
And fifth, I got Adrian Amos, safety out of Penn State, who I love when he came out of Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big safety, but he plays more like a free safety.
Mm-hmm.
I love what Green Bay has done with him. It took him, you know, I ain't gonna say took him a, well, I guess I can say it took him kind of a minute to get familiar, I guess, with whatever scheme that Green Bay really had him running. But
Mm-hmm.
he's a very productive safety. Safety is a position that I think is of need, because like you
Yeah.
said, when you got another safety back there and playing alongside Xavier Woods, it frees up Jeremy Chin to roam around and, you know, do his it allows you to do different things with Jeremy Chin. I'm sorry, got a little tongue tied, but it allows
It's
you to
all
do
good.
different things with Jeremy Chin, you know, that we saw the Panthers do with him his rookie year. and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's getting the best production out of him.
Yeah.
And you still put another safety back there with Xavier Woods. You playing that too high, that two shell defense. So that's
Mm-hmm.
keeping everything in front of you because you want to make these offenses earn the right to get in the end zone. You don't want to just give them over the top
Yeah.
every time. You know what I'm saying? Make
Yeah.
them dink and dunk on the way to the end zone. And it may work, it may not, but it's better than getting beat over the top
Yeah.
consistently. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully they'll dink and
And
dunk to fourth down. So.
yeah. And my other guy is Cameron Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
Played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 6 foot, 190 pound cornerback out of Tennessee. Another reason why I chose Cameron Sutton is because he comes from that 3-4 defense.
Mm-hmm.
Graduated, like I said, out of Tennessee. Pittsburgh drafted him, so he's been there for a while. He knows the scheme. Now if Carolina traded for him, or I'm not saying, no, I'm sorry, not trade for him,
Sign
but
it.
sign him as a free agent. you
Mm-hmm.
know there wouldn't be too much of a learning curve. Just the verbiage may be different. You
Yeah.
know, a few little intricacies here and there, but nothing major. And he allows you to have another big body corner opposite of J.C. Horn if we don't go after Jalen Ramsey. I'm just one. Okay, yeah, but but yeah, those 6 guys are free agent targets that I think Carolina can target in free agency. And
Mm-hmm.
again, keeping the salary cap in mind, what our needs are that I feel our needs are defensively. And
Mm-hmm.
these guys are guys more than likely that you could just plug and play. They have some familiarity with the scheme or familiarity with the coaches. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know, that's my list as far as the defensive free agents that I have in mind. What you think of them?
I like them. I really
Okay.
like them. And what what we continue to say is this is just a list of free agents that we like. We understand that there are more out there, but as Tony has put this list together, it's very cap friendly. Okay. And
Okay.
well, like my camera just went out, but I'm gonna keep talking. But it went
Okay.
it's very cap friendly. So we'll see how it pans out. We'll
All
see how
right.
it pans out. But I really do like it though. I
Yeah.
think any of these people on this list here can come in and like you said, plug and play and definitely have an impact sooner than later.
Hopefully we can get 3 out of the 6. That's what I'm
Yeah,
shooting for.
that
That's
would
what
be
I'm
yeah.
shooting for. At least 3 out of the 6.
That would be great. That would be great. Yep. But Panther Nation, that's gonna be an end to this video. If you like our content, like, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so you know when we post our videos. Leave us a comment. We love to hear from you. We'll respond, and we want new ideas and things y'all want us to talk about. And as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding.